Welcome to Living Your Life Well Planned, the 80-20-365 Success System from Adam Vincent Gilmer. I'm your host of the program. It's episode 20. My name's Gene Velitis. Hey, Adam, welcome back. Great to have you here on the podcast.
Thank you.
You know, we always like to remind everybody, you need a daily planner. You got this website for free. You have all these podcasts for free. You get to see the videos, or you can go to Spotify or iTunes, tell all your friends. But to get the most out of the course, you need your daily planner. You can purchase it right here on the website, 80-20-365.com. And you'll be using this daily planner every single day. It's going to help you out with your purpose statement. It's going to help you out with your 30, 60, 90-day plan. It's going to help you out with a year plan, a 5-year plan. And what you'll find is you're not going to change, but you're going to find that you're going to grow as you use this system. And you're going to find some really big changes happening. So what we were going to do on today's episode, number 20 here, is if you've been using your daily planner for a couple months now, if you've been following along the podcast, you likely have been. Adam, when do we know when it's time to, you're going to be reading that purpose statement every single morning. And I knew after a little while it was getting a little stale. But you told me that I had to rewrite it and I should do this and do that. So if we're at the point in our daily planning system here with 80-20-365, say we've been doing it for 3 months, maybe we've reached our 90-day goal or something like that. What should we do now to get the most out of the program?
Great start to episode 20. I've written my purpose statement since 1999 is when I first started really, putting this to paper. Okay. I've rewritten my purpose statement. I'm going to safely say, 100, 110 times. And it wasn't that the gist of the statement changed. What it was is that I found better words and the thoughts to describe what I really wanted to achieve and how I wanted my life to live every single day. My ideal way of my life is, here where we live, I choose hotels when I travel that has a steam room, that has a sauna and a gym. Okay. And the reason is I remember the first time that I went to a spa and, I went and had a spa treatment done and also, relaxing massage. And I came out of that after, sitting in a steam room, being in a sauna, getting a back rub done, having a treatment, facial, coming back out to, jacuzzi, getting ready. I came walking out of that spa and I was like, man, I feel like $1 million. It was like watching a shooting star thought, but and it's there and then it goes away. One of the things that we do in the planner is that you want to write down those fleeting thoughts. So I wrote this down. This is going back, many, 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 many years ago. But because that gave me such a way of how I felt, it allowed me to say, okay, man, I'd like to do this every single day. And so there's a way that you can start your day every single day. And like your purpose statement, it's like reading, all of us, we have a poem or something that we can immediately recall. It's like it means something to us. And what you have to do is you have to get into the mode of being able to, this purpose statement stands for what life means to me. The reasons I'm writing it in this manner is it brings about feelings in my body. And this is how my purpose statement starts. It's like and it took time for me to develop it. And what happens is that you're right. You start reading. The first time you do it, you're like, my purpose statement's kind of like weird, okay? But then you finally start getting into a rhythm, a track, and every day and every evening is landing and taking off, landing and taking off, landing and taking off, and just like planes need maintenance, okay? Your purpose statement is going to need maintenance, okay? And it needs to be reevaluated, repurposed, okay? And you go over it and you're going to change up some of the adjectives, maybe some of the objectives within it, specifically of why you believe you're here on this planet. And I'm a believer. I believe there's more to life than just living and dying. Okay, so I know that not everybody shares that beliefs, but I believe that. And if what you do in this life is going to echo into eternity, why not start practicing that now? And that means that redoing your purpose statement after you've hit it, you know, after 60, 90 days of doing this, you're like, yeah, I could probably refresh on that. And it starts to remold and reshape and refocus. And you finally get it down to a place where you can actually becomes like it's how you live. It's your Bible, your go-to for saying, hey, let me suck me in to get me centralized. Just like you would charge your iPhone or Android or your watch, or your earbuds, those new those new earbuds. You have to charge them to make them work. You got to give yourself a charge every single day so that you have the purpose permeating through the rest of your day. And it takes a little bit of effort, but anything worthwhile takes effort. And you go and make it happen. I'm reminded talking to you right now, Gene, of this one football movie. And I forget the name of the movie, but I remember the scene. And the scene is that this coach is with the team on the field, and they're doing this skill, which is basically you crawl on your hands and feet across the entire field. And the coach takes a blindfold and blindfold the athlete, the actor, and then has another mate hang on to his shoulder pads, and he carries the body across not just the first 50 yards, but the second 50 yards into the touchdown. And he's screaming at the end, because he said, how far can you go? Can you make it to the 50-yard line? And of course, the coach didn't stop him there. The coach pushed him all the way, and he didn't realize he was aching and paining and, couldn't wait to quit. Finally, when he quit and he takes off the blindfold, he realizes he's in the end zone. And he only thought he went this far. Meanwhile, he went this far. And I forget the movie was in, but I remember the scene. And that's kind of like how you have to look at your purpose statement. It's going to be a redefining of a redefining of a redefining, because you'll hit certain things within 6 months. And you're like, oh, I've done that. I'm this, that, and the other. And you have to stretch it again. Like one of the other episodes you just talked about was stretching. You have to redo it and repurpose it because it's going to freshen you up.
You find it surprising? I mean, at least I find this surprising. I also find it delighting too at the same time, is that when people first get their daily planner, within about 90 days of doing this, and especially when they listen to this episode number 20, and they do refresh things, they suddenly realize that the goal they set for themselves 90 days ago wasn't really that big of a deal after all, because you're reading this purpose statement every day. And it's like I say, you're not changing, you're growing. And now that goal from just as little as 90 days ago might not seem that big. Am I right?
You're absolutely correct. I'm working in one of my direct sales businesses. I'm working on this next rank, Gene. And I had this gentleman, actually I sponsored a new leg. It's off and running. And some people are rank advancing faster than others. Okay. And so I had here at the clubhouse, not allowed to meet indoors. So we had this outdoor meeting, social distancing, and people sitting down. And one of the questions just came up, just like you said. By the way, Jessica and I celebrated our 11th year anniversary, right? And we set a goal. We drove up to a nice beach restaurant in LA, got a nice ocean view. It was in their outdoor version, and we're sitting there talking, and we realized the commitments, again, now 11 years ago, that we made to each other about being together. And getting back to the business side of it, is like when you find something that is working for you, you tend to do it over and over and over again. Like, what time do you get your coffee in the morning? What time do you like to eat? What's a good time for you to start making your life on this planet, this consciousness, 86,400 seconds, 1,440 minutes. People are living between, let's just call it, 70, 80s, 90s. Every now and then we get a person in the hundreds.
Mhm.
Okay, what are you doing with your present consciousness? And to answer your question specifically, people make a commitment. And the commitment level is look, if you use it every single day, you're going to start achieving more, faster, quicker. And I'm not going to say easier because there's always work involved, but more effortlessly because new habits have been created. And when new habits get created, the only thing replaces a bad habit is another habit. Okay. And when new habits get created, what happens is these are the things you like to do all the time. And if you focus your energy on the things that are getting you the best results, great things take place. We had one gentleman where most people were hitting this goal in 90 days. It's a rank in one of our direct sales companies. He went and achieved it in 5 days. And I made a big deal of that in this outdoor gathering training that we did. And the reason I made a big deal of it is like, because everybody else had hit it maybe after 30 days, definitely within the 60 to 90-day range, they'd hit it. Okay. And he went out and hit it within 5 days. And so I said, what did you do was different? And the difference was this, is that he had to make a certain kind of income in order to keep the home, keep his life together, and what have you. So it became, so the pressures wasn't the system. The pressures were internally in each individual. His commitment level is I'm not, and fear of loss was working for him, not against him. Okay. So he knew that he had to get after it fast, where the other people had something else. They had some other monies, and it wasn't exactly the same stimuli that was driving them. They wanted to hit the goal, but not as serious as what he wanted to hit the goal. And he said, I went through my list. I contacted everybody. I started with the A's in my phone, and I never made it to Z. Okay. So he just hit it. Okay. And accomplished it in 5 days. Now, and now that's an exaggeration on his part, meaning that, but he was motivated. So he did not want to lose. He wanted to win. And the loss drove him to win more than allowing the loss to overtake him. Right? And some of the other people who still hit the goal, but it took them 90 days, between 60 and 90. Some hit it right after, 35, 40 days, but the majority hit it after the 60. And the major difference is he got up in the morning with a massive, let's say, purpose statement saying, here's what I'm going to be doing and driving my agenda.
Mm.
And the others had a purpose statement, but it wasn't as urgent for them to
Right.
go out and hit it. They got it done after 9 days. Now, I don't know if the person listening, whether you're the 5-day person or you're the 90-day person. At the end of the journey, because the journey is different for everybody, life is different for everybody. We're conscious, but it's different. You're still going to have the same rank. You're still going to have the same title. Okay. But the difference was this person did it fast.
Well, he did what it's the whole thing, right? He did.
You, the listener, okay, to who's listening in, to say, how can I go and motivate myself every single day to just go for it, even during COVID, even working from home, or loss of job, right? Listen, get involved with something that makes sense, that is successful, that can be proven successful. When you fact check it, it checks out. Get involved. I would encourage everybody, if you're in the United States or even Canada, to look at other income producing opportunities, because life has changed as we know it. Purpose is, I used to love it's so funny. The first 3 months of this year, January, February, and March, I had them all planned out to go travel places, what have you. I went to Russia, knocked Russia out as a goal. I was coming back in through Heathrow, landed, spent a few days home, then went to Utah, to do some work up there. And then on the way coming back in Utah, this is in February now, on the way coming back, I remember getting this email and message that said, South by Southwest is canceling. And I was like, dude, that's a massive event. Like just the weight of having, if you're an organizer for that event, I'm not, but if you were one of the organizers for the event, or you're singing at the event, or you're performing at the event, and you now understand that that is a big revenue producing event for that business. Okay, if they're canceling, something's up. Okay, so it was that one, and then all of a sudden everything started to hit, right? And then if you Mod Podge the last like 3 months, I mean, if you look back, it's almost like a couple blinks of the eye, because there's so much repetitiveness of getting up in your own house every day. Okay, there's a repetitiveness that's going on with that you weren't expecting to have happen, but it's happened. And you may have to go and adjust. I had to adjust my calendar. So March, April, May, June, July, we had to make some major adjustments. and I did. I took some pivots and some different stuff, which has been amazing from a business perspective. But at the same time, it took some action. It took some people. It took some management. It took some change. And it didn't change my purpose statement, Gene, because I attract to my reality like-minded beings who will partner with me to help change the world, and together we'll drive income, 6, 7, and 9-figure incomes. And this is one of my major affirmations that I do. I have a series of affirmations that I do. It comes with the planner system. We actually give you 100 different affirmations to do or to make your own. When I tell people, when you buy your iPhone, it was Apple's, but it becomes your iPhone. When you buy your car, it doesn't become the Mercedes-Benz dealership car anymore. It becomes your car. When you buy the planning system, it's no longer Adam Gilmer's planning system. It's your planning system. Okay, you have to own the damn thing. And when you own the thing, it's like you become you become a slave to you as the master. Okay. So I'll say that again. You become the slave. What you have to do every single day: purpose statement, power hour, being, brain, body, time, people, and money, your self, bottom lines, and other interests that you got to do every single day. Your ahas, going down to the gym, nutrition, rest, gym, and exercise. You got to do this stuff, and by doing it, it becomes a game. And the game is, if you need to redo your purpose statement after 90 days, 6 months, a year, you go over the purpose finder exercise and rewrite it. There's lots of evidence in making movies where they had to rewrite the script.
Yes.
Now, the concept of the story was together, but they added and nipped and tucked, and this is what happens. And it becomes, an award-winning, movie, or
and sometimes they have to rewrite the ending. And if we're talking about the year 2020, everybody's had to rewrite their ending this year.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny, right? So, I watch different news to get different perspective on this crazy world that we're in. And it's funny what BBC will report versus, Fox News versus CNN, MSNBC, what have you. Everybody's got their own different take on, and this is beautiful, freedom of speech. I love it. So what happens is once this social distancing started, it was funny. Like, everybody was separated out. There was no more hanging out on the couch or sitting at the same table doing a broadcast. It all completely changed. And it was funny. There was a period there of maybe 3 weeks where you could tell none of the broadcasters got haircuts. Okay. You could see some of the, the highlights and the grays and what have you coming through, right? And I'm like going, it completely changed. And then there was an update every single day of what's going on in New York. And it was like, and the numbers were here and here. And it was just like, and if you focused all your energy into just that, that's the new belief system that got created. Behind the scenes of all that, okay, because, I subscribe to different news updates and I get them pinging on my phone. So I get the highlights, like the top 20, what's important to listen to. But behind that, we put a plan to say, okay, listen, we're going to start doing Zoom meetings, Zoom parties. And then it literally changed to a new little habit or a new saying that we got, which was called Zooming. Okay. So somebody says, hey man, what have you been doing? This and that. I say, I've been Zooming. It's not even Zoom anymore. Okay, it's been, you've done so many Zooms, you're now ing, and but that's the thing. Things change, and I don't want to say that my purpose statement changed, but for the people that are brand new or are running on the system for a little bit, you're going to have to redo it a couple times so you can bring it into clear focus. It's like you know, Gene, we wear glasses, and it's always good when you go down and you get your eyes rechecked, and they give you like a better prescription. Oh my God, it's actually clear.
I
Like you
can
can
see
anything.
again.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
and the things are clear, and that's what happens when you have a good purpose statement. And then what happens then is the mental clarity that comes from the beginning, the sinking in, the recharging is great. And the other thing I remind people a lot of, like, you know, planes don't take off without a flight plan. Okay, even in flight school, you're filing a flight plan. You have to have a daily plan for your day. You have to have a takeoff and a landing procedure. Okay, and you have to have a bedtime procedure, and you have to have a rest procedure, and you have to have a get up and work your ass off procedure, and go to the gym, and all these other things that so you have the nutrition, rest, and exercise, and energy for the day. It's a habit, and there's success habitudes versus ones that'll pull you away from that. And you have to ask yourself the same questions. Is your purpose statement moving you? I wouldn't say just moving you, pulling you, drawing you, sucking you towards your goals and dreams? Or is it not really moving you? It's not really moving you, you're being stagnant. And we don't want that. We want you in motion. Motion creates emotion.
And and one final thing here. Here's the magical end result of all of this, and you haven't even talked about this. As you rewrite your purpose statement and as you refine your goals, and I always say, go back to the cover of the book. Your life magically, as a result of what you're doing, that balance wheel becomes more balanced. It's just the end. It happens like magic.
Gene, yesterday we were down at the beach club, and we have this doctor that we work with in one of our companies, well-known plastic surgeon, and didn't know he was going to be at the pool with his family. Right now, we haven't talked in probably, I think the last time I saw him was at a Russian convention when we first started doing podcasts and what we were doing. Right, we hadn't talked, and get down to the beach club yesterday, and the doctor's there with his family and kids. And we're like, hey man, like he's saying, what are you doing here? And I'm saying, this isn't LA, this is Orange County. What are you doing here? And he goes, yeah, there's nowhere in LA to go that's as good as here. So we decided to come here for a family vacation. And we literally bumped into each other. And we normally, we never see each other in LA. We always see each other somewhere globally at a talk or at an event somewhere, whether it's Brazil, all over the world, for his particular products that we market and sell. And it was so funny bumping into him yesterday. So I kindly said, hey, listen, you guys are down in my neck of the woods, okay, which is this part of Southern California. We have to make dinner plans. So and that led to, hey, let's get together, we get the kids, what have you together. But why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you all this because when you start doing the planning system, there's going to be a lot of spontaneity. Everybody thinks that you're so compartmentalized, planned, that that there's no allowance for random, out of the world, crazy interactions. Okay, and I'm telling you that you're going to start having more of those show up. And the reason you have more, like bumping into our doctor the other day, the reason why you start having these things is because the practice of spinning the wheel of life, okay, being brain, body, time, people, money, becomes such an amazing habit in your life that it allows everything that's so tightly planned, but it allows for great things and great interactions to take place. And if you think about it, Gene, to when we met all those years ago, and the people that we know in common and everything else, it was those incredible interactions that have led to amazing, amazing outcomes, right? And that's the 80-20 principle working in our lives. And what people have to realize is your purpose statement is such a high uh, it's the pinnacle of the system. So if you get this part right, you're going to have the rest of it starting to fill in and starting to, gel. And that's what's important, is that you have to have a purpose statement that's going to drive you to be a better you. And it has to pull you in the direction and saying, man, like, you have to keep up with your purpose statement because it's that empowering to how it makes you feel. And then you got a good one. You have the energy source to say, let me move myself in a direction.
That's perfect. We're going to leave it there. Thanks, Adam. Good time to rewrite that purpose statement. Alrighty. Well, he's Adam Vincent Gilmer. He's come up with that system you're using. Make sure you go to the website, 802365, and get your daily planner. I'm your host, Gene Velitis. Adam Vincent Gilmer and I will be back, if you're binge listening, in just a second with episode 21, Living Your Life Well Planned.